Good morning, guys. So I wanted to do a little video here about some questions that have come up about pipes, kind of show you what pipes I have and that sort of thing. So I wanted to address some issues that Boaz was talking about with a pipe that he just got. He was concerned that the stem was a little loose because most of the time when we have pipes with stems that are real tight, we think of them kind of like this. This is actually a pipe that's pretty old from my uncle, and it's my uncle Ronnie. And there's no telling what he smoked through this, but when I got it, it still smells like mothballs, so I'm not going to smoke it. But you know, it was pretty bad. So, anyways, as you can tell, the stem is pretty loose, right? So that's not necessarily that big of a deal for me because I know that the wood's going to swell up when you smoke it and it's going to get a little tighter. So we don't think about it like that. We think about it more like this. This is a pipe made by the Israeli manufacturer Muki, and so it's a decent pipe. It smokes pretty well, but it's not my favorite. But it's nice because it sits. It's a sitter, so it's kind of nice. But this is really tight. So we think about that as being, you know, the epitome. It doesn't really turn much when it goes in there. You know, it's kind of that way. This here's another stem that goes in there. Again, it's also not super tight, like seized up tight. This is this pipe right here. This is the only straight pipe that I still have. It is actually James J. Fox. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's a James J. Fox and or J.J. Fox. James J. Fox, I think is what it says on here. So it's made in the UK, and it comes from James J. Fox, tobacconist in London. And this is actually made by Dunhill, which is a really high-end pipe maker. They, for whatever reason, they don't make the qualifications, but it's a good smoker, and I like it too because it is also a sitter. So here's another sitter that I have. This is an Eric Nording. You can kind of see that there. Eric Nording Signature Freehand. This is like really dark compared to what it used to be. Again, a sitter. And these two are known as cherry wood because of the shape that they are. As you can tell, they are generally the same type of shape. Now, this is an interesting stem on this one because this one, none of my stems fit really tight, but this one is, I think you could put a filter in it, like a 6mm filter. I don't think it'll fit a 9, maybe a 7mm balsa wood filter, maybe like a Savinelli filter, but I don't like filters in my pipes. So anyhow, it fits pretty good, but it's almost like a compression fit, so it fits in more as you go through. It's a quite heavy pipe, so being the clincher that I am, it's not my favorite pipe to smoke, but it feels really good in the hand, and if I'm a holder, then it works great. And that and surprisingly enough, this is a heavy pipe, but this actually sits very well in the mouth as a clincher. Okay, so this pipe right here that I showed you before is known as a Whitehill pipe. I don't know, can you see that name on there? Whitehill? And it was a pipe that was like an introductory pipe made in England from, some guys even the name of Ben Wade and Previn Holmes, I think, worked under Whitehill for a long time. So this is my B10 silver caramel spigot, and spigots are kind of nice because if you look at this, it's got a military mount on it. Okay, so this military mount enforces the shank, so even if it does swell up or whatever, and it won't split, it reinforces it. And on the stem, you've also got silver on here, and you'll notice that the stem is also shaped differently. This does not fit a filter, but it also enforces the stem. So this is called a military mount, and this is called a spigot. So a spigot is just a stronger version of a military mount, and Peterson probably is most famous for that one. This isn't sterling silver. This was a gift. So, but this can be really hot, and you can break it down. Again, and you'll notice that this is tapered. So as you push it in more, it fits tighter on there. Okay, this is looks like kind of like a calabash shape, and smokes really well. I enjoy this one a whole lot. So brings me to some mini meerschaums that I have. These are just, you know, even these, like the stem is not so tight on it, you can tell. But you know, these are just, I use these as a like sample tobaccos and stuff, or if I'm just out, you know, farting around and only got like 15-20 minutes to smoke, it's a decent little smoke. I got 2 of them. So these were gifts through a manufacturer that I got some tobacco through in the States when I was back there in the States. So I'm going to show you this stem. This is just a stem that I have around that fit in one of my pipes that I'm getting a repair done, and I'm just waiting for it to come back. I got this from Mookie and Haifa. And let me just kind of explain to you. This is the stem of the mouthpiece. This part right here is called the button, and that shape right there is called a fishtail because it looks like a fishtail. Okay, so this is a fishtail. The button is that little raised portion like right here. And this comes down, comes to a taper. And then this is the mortise. Okay, so if this is the mortise, it fits inside of it. I'm sorry, if this is a tenon, it fits inside of a mortise. So this is not supported by any type of enforcement or anything, and it's actually quite thin. Now, this is not vulcanite, which is hardened rubber. This is what's known as lucite, which is acrylic. I prefer acrylic just because it doesn't, I don't know why I like it. I mean, it doesn't oxidize, and I don't have to worry so much about teeth marks on it, and I don't have to worry about, you know, buffing it all the time and stuff like that. I prefer acrylic, but I know guys out there that hate acrylic. So anyways, but this is usually the end right here that will break if you keep messing with your pipe while it's hot and trying to remove the stem to remove moisture out of the mortise of the pipe. So you just feed the pipe cleaner in there and let it soak up the moisture inside of the pipe. That's really basically the only thing. All the pipes I have get moisture in them. So I wanted to just show you that to kind of show you the dynamic or the dimensions of what this is of a stem. So now I have 2 pipes. These are my oldest 2 pipes that I have, and they are both Peterson, of course, because, you know, I'm a Peterson fan. All right, these are the Killarney lines. Okay, this is a 68 and this is a 69. Now I've got a wind cap on this one. It's just a little spring thing that goes on there. So if it's a windy day like what it is outside, I put that cap on here, and it keeps the wind from going inside so much, which will keep your tobacco burning really hot, and sometimes it'll burn out the inside of your pipe. So anyways, these are the 2 that the stems are also very loose. I just smoked this yesterday, and it's okay. It's not too bad. It's probably close to what yours was, Boaz. But this is the workhorse. I call this the workhorse because if I'm outside hiking or something and I just got to throw a pipe in my pocket and not worry about what else is in the pocket, scratch it up, that's this one right here. It's kind of beat up. It's not a pretty pipe, but it's got a few things that I like about it. It's a good smoker. It does gurgle, though. All my pipes gurgle except for one, and I'll show you that one here in a minute. But this right here is known as a P-lip. The button is shaped like a P-lip, and it's perfect for me because when I clench, this hangs off of my tooth, and my other tooth is just sitting here like that. So it works like a pendulum, just like this. Just like that, and I can talk and smoke on it. And your tongue fits right in here. So it directs the air this way instead of this way. And it's supposed to keep from burning your tongue, but if the smoke is going to burn your tongue, then it's just going to burn the roof of your mouth anyways. So I don't know, but I like the P-lip because I'm a clencher, and that's what it is. So this is the workhorse. This is a shape number 69 in the Killarney line. This is about 20 years old, probably. I just keep it on there because I got a little bit of tobacco in it. So, and then this one right here is a 68 shape. This is what's known as a bent brandy. This other one is a bent, I think it's a Dublin, bent Dublin in the 69, and this is a bent brandy. They're very similar in shape, but this one is slightly bigger than this one. They hold roughly the same tobacco. This is just a little thicker around the bowl size right here, but the internal dimensions are almost identical to the other one. And it's a little bit heavy too. So, and I got these at the same time. This was a gift from a friend that we used to smoke. And the 69 that I have was his. When he decided he didn't want to smoke anymore, he gave it to me. So if you look here on the tip right here, you can see it's got some chips. It's got some roughness to it. You know, it's not in the best shape whatsoever. Got a pretty good little hickey right. Oh, that wasn't it. So got some dents and stuff in it, but you know, it's still okay. It's still a pretty pipe. I like the color. I like the way it smokes. I'm not going to complain. Well, by far, probably my favorite of all of them, and I say favorite only because it's just really what I've been smoking here lately. I kind of refound, I guess is what you would call it. It's this one right here. This is a Peterson 03 system standard. And this was a secondhand pipe for me. It's a bent apple shape. So the shape is called a bent apple. Again, it's a P-lip because a P-lip goes with a system pipe. It is a tapered stem, as you can tell. It has a military mount. And this is a system pipe. So normally, as you would come through, you would see that you've got a bore here for the stem, a stem hole, and then the tobacco hole. And then through there, you'll have a little bitty hole that goes through that is a draft hole. Okay? Now, in normal pipes, a draft hole comes in like right here at the bottom of the stem, so the smoke comes up inside. And that's the way that they try to do it. But on a system pipe, they make the draft hole come up here. That way the smoke hits this, and the condensation forms around this part of the stem, and then it comes down and it drips into a well that is down here from when they bore the big hole in this way. And it doesn't gurgle at all. And I've had some pretty damp, pretty moist tobaccos that I've smoked through. And I'm a bit of a wet smoker too. What does that mean? It means that I produce a lot of saliva when I smoke. So I have a lot of moisture in my mouth. I have a lot of moisture outside, and smoke damp tobaccos. So it's just going to happen. It's just part of it. So I always keep a couple of pipe cleaners with me to run down there. I like this pipe a lot because while it's hot, and if it gets too damp, I just take this off and just put that in there that way. If it's way too damp, this also, it's just a nice feeling pipe, you know. It just, you know, and it looks good. I mean, I make the pipe look good, so that's the important thing. So that's really it. You know, if you have any other questions, sorry the video is kind of long. It's about 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes. I didn't intend it to be that long. But if you have any other questions, it's fine. Just ask, keep puffing, and, you know, enjoy. Don't worry too much about loose stems. They tighten up as you smoke. All right? Have a good week, guys.